They have a bigger talent pool potentially, and they're going to give them anything it takes to potentially get this team back to a national championship. And if you want to set a legacy, you could maybe have one good year at Ole Miss and maybe potentially, 5 or 6 9-3 campaigns, but you're not going to make the playoff each and every season, or at least that's the mindset. You have a better path at LSU or a bigger school.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the Best Bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Everyone has just been lying about this whole thing. Okay. Of the top 15 teams in the country, there are 4 total losses to unranked football teams. Miami has half of them.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Florida was thought to get Lane Kiffin, but they go and turn to Tulane head coach John Summerall. This is a solid hire, coach.
He's a tough-minded coach. I thought he would be a perfect fit at Auburn, just knowing he's from Alabama. But I think Florida got an outstanding coach. He will be a tough nut that knows how to win football games.
The Bowden Blitz, only.
A holiday special. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi on SportsGrid. It is Pro Football Today, and we have as much to talk about, I feel, as we ever really have on this show, Joe, which is why we're going to get you a bonus 30 minutes here on this edition. if you're with us live, that is a KC loss on Sunday Night Football, a season-ending injury for Daniel Jones, a ton of movement in the AFC North. A lot for us to unpack here, Lisi.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about the 2 losses yesterday by the Chiefs and Ravens. They're on the hot seat and on the outside looking in for a potential wild card berth right now. 2 of the teams, Kev, that at the start of the year were the favorites to win the Super Bowl, right? And here we have it. And they're on the outside looking in. And the hottest team potentially in the NFL, the Houston Texans, that they do is win, baby. They've won 5 straight, knocked off playoff caliber teams like Jacksonville, Buffalo, and then Kansas City. And the Colts, they're looking as good as anybody right now.
And we're going to get into the surging Texans, not just through the standings, but in market as well. But we really need to start on the KC side of it. They come into this season near Super Bowl favorites, Baltimore and Buffalo getting a lot of respect. But the Chiefs all of a sudden were having a complete 180 from last year, where all of the numbers told us they were elite, but the record wasn't matching up. They still, as we sit here right now, have a top 5 offense by EPA in the league. And all of a sudden, this group can't win one-score games. They don't feel reliable. And I think what's very jarring about last night's loss to the Houston Texans, Joe, is it wasn't surprising. I mean, the almost finality of it, as Kansas City now has seen the market move against them considerably. When we're talking to miss the playoffs, Joe, they're minus 600. That is surprising. But, Kansas City couldn't score with their season on the line? You're not all too stunned. Them getting dropped by the Texans. You're not all too stunned specifically to last night. What went wrong for the Kansas City Chiefs? A team that closed in some spots 4.5-point favorite in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was the game plan to begin with. We talk about Andy Reid being complacent, being conservative in different matchups. That's what it was last night. Now, late in the game when it was 10-10 and he rolls the dice and he goes for it on 4th and 2 inside his own 40-yard line, that ultimately allowed Houston to get the lead and really, take control of that game. But early on, Kevin, when we broke down the game, And we had said this is an opportunity for Pat Mahomes to challenge that defense over the top, to utilize Xavier Worthy, to utilize Marquise Brown, to have the underneath routes to Travis Kelce. It was non-existent for the most part. They didn't get into any type of offensive continuity. Now, part of that was how good Houston's defense is, but the other part as well is the play calling by Andy Reid. They have no offensive identity. Think about the start of the year when he was chucking for 300 yards per game, 3 touchdowns. Oh, this is the offense that we had 2 and 3 years ago, the old Pat Mahomes. Where was that last night?
So, and we're going to unpack some of that, but you mentioned the Andy Reid decision-making, and I think last night what you saw, a team who entered the game with minimal margin for error when we talk about making the postseason, burn their in-game margin for error with inconsistent decisions. They come out, opening drive, touchdown, and mind you, they had to be aggressive on that. A 4th and 1 at the 2, so they could have had a first down, but you're expecting touchdown or bust. They hand the ball off to Kareem Hunt. They think, you know what? This is what's worked for us all year long. We need a yard. He gets a yard. Rarely 2, sometimes definitely not 3, right? The next drive, 4th and 4 at their own 44. Punt. You should be running on 3rd down and setting yourself up for a 4th and short go situation. But that punt was then followed by another Kansas City drive where on a 4th and 2 at the Texans' 18-yard line, they kick a field goal. And what you start to notice is Andy is going against what the analytics will tell him, right? Because he sees that the Texans' offense is dead. It was done. Everything was a 3 and out. And then all of a sudden, Andy Reid, on a 4th and 1 at the 31, says, you know what? I got to go. Listen, you're now being inconsistent, right? That's, hey, I'm going to sit down at the table, and I'm going to play red every time. And that's dangerous, but you also can break red, black. It's always black. I got to go black. So, whoa, what are you doing here? And then, because he went for it and didn't get it on the 4th and 1, he did the exact same thing on that 4th and 4 when the game was 17-0. Andy Reid looked, again, I know he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he was exposed last night for not having a good grasp on in-game decision-making.
Desperate head coach, right?
Yeah.
He played that like a playoff game, and then when he realized
But like a first-year playoff game. You know what I mean? Like, he's never
or,
been in a moment like
this.
this.
Wait a second. Or like that aging champ. He could see the punches coming, but he can't get out of the way. It's the same type of mentality. Andy Reid knew what he had with his offense and has the best potential quarterback in the NFL in Pat Mahomes, and he didn't utilize him or believe in the offense enough to roll the dice in critical matchups. Then when it was 10-10, he panicked, he went for it, and ultimately that was the dagger and the nail in the coffin. That was the reason why they lost the game. The defense stepped up. The defense was forcing, and when you and I have talked about this with D'Amico Ryans, when they get a lead or when they're close, he pulls back the reins.
Oh my gosh, and he did it.
He did it yet again, and that's going to wind up burning them long term. But that's why they're not my pick to win it all in the AFC, but we'll talk about that later. But ultimately, he didn't want to go down that route, Andy Reid. He wanted to roll the dice and see if he could get some momentum back, and it ultimately cost him, Kev. That was a poor decision, but a desperate head coach.
We have a football epidemic on our hands of teams that don't understand just because you throw incomplete on 1st and 10 doesn't mean you have to then run it on 2nd and 10. And it is at all levels of it was all over the Big Ten championship game. 1st and 10 and we got to run it. It's constant. It's Kansas City was doing it. It's constant. It's costly. The Texans did it. The Chiefs let it slip. The question on Kansas City is you watch that game, and the question is, well, can they run the table, right? They were super banged up on the offensive line. Maybe they can get a little bit healthier. They've got 4 games to go. They'll be booked as favorites in all 4 of them. Home against LA, home against Denver, at Tennessee, at Vegas. That's not the order, but that's the home and road splits. The issue is this team has gone out and lost 4 of their last 5 games. They've been favored in every single one of those games.
Exactly.
So the issue is not just that the Chiefs running the table might not be good enough. It's that the Chiefs running the table is an expectation that just doesn't meet reality right now.
No, you're right. And think about 3rd down conversions. They convert 4 of 14 on 3rd downs yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrible. for Pat Mahomes and all the weapons that they possess. And I told you, the non-existent running game at times burns them. Now, they did pound the rock for $129 last night, but they didn't set the tone with the rushing attack, right? And that has been a problem. When this team can't run the football and set the tone early, it puts them into predictable long third downs. Pat Mahomes and this offense at times looks inconsistent. He doesn't know who we can trust outside of Rashee Rice at times. And credit Houston. They shut down Rashee Rice, right? He throws a couple of bubble screens to Xavier Worthy, takes the deep shot to Thornton. That should have been a touchdown. It was a great play by Lassiter to knock it away. But where were those deep shots late in the game? They were non-existent.
The deep shot they hit to Hollywood Brown that set up that touchdown, he underthrew him.
Yeah.
Mahomes has been a bad thrower of the deep ball now for a little while, which is interesting.
You're right, and he had to run up into the pocket for that throw.
I want to say this, though, about their playoff chances. Okay, if you look at it right now, we're going to get into all the specifics of these things, right? But the Daniel Jones injury probably knocks the Colts out of the playoffs. Pats, Bills, Broncos, Jags, Texans, one AFC North team. If that's the case, it comes down to Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers, who do still have a difficult remaining schedule. I know it could sound like we're double talking here a little bit, but you have to acknowledge the struggles for the Chiefs. There is a world that 10-7 is good enough. But again, that's kind of the important thing to investigate is, do we actually think they can go 10-7? And I don't know. I kind of think yes. I think the schedule broke their way, but I think there's some other things you might want to let play out. As Joe said, though, this game isn't just about KC. What do we make of the Texans? And the fallout from Jags Colts is next on SportsGrid.
Nobody bats 300 anymore because the value of hitting a fly ball, which could eventually become a home run, is so much more valuable. It's when the shift in the NBA went from 2-pointers to 3-pointers. Well, if I can make 40% of my threes, I'm just going to jack threes all over the place. There's more value in that. Well, there's more value in just like ripping driver most of the time.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Take a look at it, you say, all right, well, can they do this? But the one thing I know, every year I love the SEC championship game. Like this year, we're going to get a pretty good treat in the Big Ten because you have Indiana and Ohio State. But every single year, it's never like I don't have to watch that. Because the reason I bring that up is there's a game that's going to be on 8 o'clock that probably should just be played at midnight or 1 a.m. The ACC championship game. Like, things are not the same.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's stunning to think that, right? And I had the over on the win total, or going into the year with the Patriots, it was 8.5. I thought they could win 10 games. They've already won 10 games. And that is a stunning turnaround, to go from worst to first here. And they're not the only team that could do it. The Jaguars could do it too. They are right on that precipice here if they handle their business against the Titans the next couple weeks and, at least split between the Indianapolis Colts those two games.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. It's Kevin Walsh. It's Joe Lisi. And Joe, the Texans' 20-10 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs changes a lot for this team. Because now, this group making the playoffs, it's the expectation. The schedule sets up. They'll play 2 consecutive home games against Arizona and Vegas. They'll go to L.A. to play the Chargers. And then they host the Colts. And again, we're going to talk about the Colts in just a moment here. I said last night, I think the Texans have an argument for AFC favorites. And I think one of the reasons they have that argument is the current AFC favorite is the Buffalo Bills. People are going to push back and say, well, Josh Allen and all of his pedigree. Well, let's just talk about that for a moment here. C.J. Stroud has more pedigree than both Drake May and Bo Nix combined. C.J. Stroud has won a playoff game in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. If we can come to terms on pedigree for quarterbacks jumping guys, then the Texans make that case as well. Buffalo is a much bigger dog in their division. And if the Texans host a home playoff game, you would expect as the 3 seed, they don't even project to be in the same portion of the bracket, if you will, as the Buffalo Bills. Again, I'm not saying I'm surprised they're not priced as the favorite, Joe, but over 6-1, the Texans' numbers continue to look interesting to me.
They do, and they knocked off the team that knocked them off in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they did,
so
in the same stadium.
If you're going to talk about Kansas City being that roadblock for the Texans, they're smooth sailing now, right? Mm-hmm. Think about the playoff teams that they knocked off. We keep talking about it, the Colts, the Bills, the Jags, all teams potentially that they might have to meet up in a playoff type of situation and format. So, again, I think from a defensive perspective, Houston is as good as anybody. I think they have a claim for the number 1 overall seed. The problem that I have is that they have a franchise quarterback in C.J. Stroud that has regressed from an offensive perspective from year number 1. They fired Bobby Slowick. I don't think the offense is better. And they have added weapons like Knoll, like Higgins that they brought on to help out with Nico Collins. They have Christian Kirk that doesn't get utilized. They have an above-average tight end, Dalton Schultz. When are we going to open up? If they were as aggressive as other teams, right, that have those type of weapons, I'd be buying all into DeMeco Ryans, but he's another head coach that plays very close to the vest, relies on his defense, and again, I keep talking about it. It's the Dr. Evil of the NFL. Why win games 40-20 when you can lose them 21-17? Because that's what's going to happen in a playoff type of situation when you're afraid to score points.
So the draw, Joe. Let me actually revert back. I wasn't in on the Texans coming into the year because of offensive concerns that stemmed from the offensive line, and those have not been fixed. Those are still there, undoubtedly. And I think the Texans have a great outlook as a franchise because they're going to pour money into that offensive line, I think, undoubtedly. And then you have Tank Dell will come back, Nico Collins, the emergence of one, if not both of the Iowa State rookies at the wide receiver position. Woody Marks is coming on there. But I didn't know if this team could make up for the offensive line being that bad. Where they make up for it is the fiercest defense in football. A 1-2 combination of Anderson and Hunter that feel... The Texans are horrifying teams. Again, that was one of the interesting elements. The Chiefs went into that game, Joe, and I felt they were submissive. They're like, nothing we can do. Hope we score 17 and that's enough. Like you hear Matt Nagy in press conferences leading up, the Texans are... The defense is so scary right now. Like usually we use that word and it's not actually true. No, teams are scared of the Houston Texans. You see it in the play calling, Joe.
No, absolutely. And again, you bring up a great point when you have edge rushers like Will Anderson and others coming off the edge to collapse the pocket, and then you have lockdown corners like Stingley and you have Lassiter in the back end in the secondary. That not just shut down Pat Mahomes, but let's not forget last year shut down and held Josh Allen to one of his worst performances as an NFL quarterback. But I'm saying he was 9-30 in that game, shut him down just a couple of weeks ago. It is scary. It is. But again, it's part of when we talk about how do you challenge a defense that has a dominant front seven and one of the best secondaries. You still have to attack them. You can't be complacent. You can't go sideline to sideline. You can't run a bubble screen on a front end that is athletic and can run down the ball carrier, whether it be Xavier Worthy or another 4-2, 4-3 guy. You have to attack them vertically to neutralize the speed, to get that front seven thinking play action pass and over the top. Then you can run the football. But teams consistently are afraid to attack. What about a little tempo? What about a little 2-minute offense? You have the best quarterback in the land. Andy Reid's such a guru. Well, why not utilize that to wear down the front seven? I'm just saying the way they called that game plan yesterday, and I don't think Matt Nagy's a great offensive coordinator. He was a terrible head coach.
He's getting looks again, by the way.
The NFL is a garbage when they do that. When they regurgitate old talent that never stepped up. And we could get on McCarthy in a little bit as well. But the point is, part of it is the game plan as well. And again, if you're afraid to attack with the best quarterback potentially in the NFL, that gives a defense an immediate lift.
You are correct, but that is why I kind of make the point is I think there are teams that come into the games against the Texans, and they're helping them.
Yes.
They're like, oh, you know what? We can't throw deep on this team. Let's not throw deep. It's like, whoa, like that's when, you look dangerous and things of that nature. What we're going to do, because I want to get into the Daniel Jones fallout in the next segment, so I want to just quickly ask you this. How impressed were you with Jacksonville yesterday? Or do you feel the whole thing is just about Daniel Jones?
No.
We're going to get into Jones in a minute.
No, but
what did you think of Jacksonville?
Before Jones went out, that was all Jacksonville. And they were able to, and that wasn't the perfect field yesterday. It was light rain. But you saw Brian Thomas come on. He had over 70 yards receiving in that matchup. We saw Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence step up. The rushing attack with Liam Cohen looks similar to what Tampa Bay had. One of the best rushing attacks in the NFL last year. It's carrying over now. And again, I think this team is legit. I think Liam Cohen is gaining confidence as a play caller, even with this team. Because, again, we talk about it. Just because he's an above-average elite OC, right, and head coach, you have to understand how that talent responds in critical situations. And they're starting to peak just the way Tampa Bay was from an offensive perspective last year. So I think they are dangerous. I don't know if I buy into their defense as much, and that's a cause of concern, but we'll see. I think in the proper matchup, Kev, they can be an AFC championship caliber team with the right type of schedule and the way it plays out.
Jacksonville maybe entering a different tier with that win, and in the loss, the Colts season feels totally over. Is that the case? We'll talk about it after the break right here on SportsGrid.
You're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I think.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Tough day yesterday for the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be dramatic. You could argue it's a franchise-altering day. The Colts looked around the AFC, saw an open conference, a hot, Colts group, and said, let's go for it. They trade multiple first-round picks. They bring in Sauce Gardner, and all of a sudden, they start losing football games. Sauce Gardner gets injured. And it was tough to Joe because the decision to trade for Sauce showed a lot of confidence in Daniel Jones. And I've been a critic of Daniel Jones in the past. he was starting to lose a bit of his shine. I think we can acknowledge that. The first play of the game, he was like, Devin Lloyd, that's my target. Throws an interception. But this all gets significantly complicated because today isn't really about me being like, Jones isn't the guy. Jones just tore his Achilles. I don't know what that looks like. I know he's not playing the rest of the season, and that now sets the Colts up, Joe, to lose out. You tell me. They're minus like almost 290 to win a game, but it's because, are they going to really lose out? At Seattle. Oh, boy. Home against the Niners. Uh-oh. Home against the Jags. All right.
Yeah.
At the Texans. All right, so they maybe win a game. Maybe win a game.
Ruby Slipper fell off before midnight. That's what happened. I mean,
again, like even if Jones was healthy, they were going to be staring down the barrel.
Although, you know what? That Sam Darnold game is always interesting because Sam Darnold's another one punching above his weight, and he's doing great. But he throws some Daniel Jones-esque interceptions.
I know, but they've already lost 3 in a row.
Yeah. No,
this
I
Colts
know.
team, 4 of 5.
Jonathan Taylor's not running the football.
Well, okay, can we stop with the MVP stuff?
No, but
the running backs.
Okay, all right.
Maybe
not me,
but just anybody.
All right,
probably
so
you must thought you got to come on.
Unless it's Saquon last year. All right,
but he wasn't the MVP.
I'm just saying.
It's all right.
But defense got sliced and diced yesterday. I mean, the defense is now a sieve.
Trevor looked unreal.
Yeah, one of his best performances of the season.
Yeah.
And think about what Arizona was able to do with him just 2 weeks ago, forced 3 turnovers. So they're up against it. Emotionally, they thought they had a quarterback above AR, right? What's interesting, AR is still not off IR with the eye injury. You can't even go to Anthony Richardson in this type of situation. Not saying he would bring any wins.
But it would be
an upgrade from where
we wouldn't
Riley
be talking
Leonard,
like no. The conversation would be, can Anthony Richardson save the season? Not the Colts are going to lose every game.
Well, they have Riley Leonard now. If they get, let me ask you this,
a winner.
because before we got on air,
National championship game last year.
Okay,
but he also might have got injured in the game.
Went through his total, but that's all that matters. Listen, Joe Flacco. If Joe Flacco goes back to the Colts, and that's been a rumor where he would ask for a mutual release with the Bengals, does he give them any shot to win? That's 2 of those games?
So, but I think you set it up. The defense is playing bad. The offense doesn't look as good.
Could they steal one? I mean,
that's not good enough, I don't think, now. Think about it like this. We're talking about how doom and gloom KC is. The Chiefs have the tiebreak over them.
They're dead. I mean, they're dead unless they're not winning games with Riley Leonard. I can tell you that right now. They would need to really, honestly, change the whole complexity of the offense and get back to more of a triple option because Leonard can run. That is the one thing that Leonard can do, and we know that that's what they had at Notre Dame with Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love. Go back to that type of offense where you're going to run it 80% of the time with Jonathan Taylor and look to shorten games, and hopefully you could steal 1 or 2. But putting the complete game plan on Riley Leonard's shoulders right now, a quarterback that is more of just a project, they're on the out. They're going to lose every game. So what do you do if you're not going to get Flacco?
So this is the future.
What do you do?
So we agree to that. They're going to lose every game.
I want to see the spreads first.
Joe, they might win a game. You got to win in 2.
No, I mean,
hold on. I don't know if they have the updated win total. Let me see if I can get it for you quick. To go over 9.5, 2 wins is 2-1. I mean, would you rather? So for them to win 2 games is 2-1. For them to not win again is plus 210.
See,
I think it's more likely they don't win. They don't win again than win twice.
They do match up well, I think, and they lost the game about a week ago to the Texans. But again, I still think that they can run the football. And they, from an offensive line perspective, don't feel the front 7. I think if they took a run-first mentality against the Texans, because, again, Texans' offensive game plan, let's play lower-scoring games. Yeah. That's allowing teams to potentially be in it when you run the football.
I know.
I'm just saying, that would be the best. If we're talking out of those 4 teams, Texans are the best one to get their victory over.
Well, great. That
sounds crazy.
But here's the thing. Even let's just say you're bang on. I might disagree. It's the last game of the season.
No, I know.
It won't matter. They'll be 8-8. It won't even matter. They'll be 8-8 against a Texans team who might be playing for a division.
It's a shame because he was looked at as Coach of the Year. Daniel Jones, comeback Player of the Year in that aspect.
Thing. Is Daniel Jones their Week 1 starter?
I don't even know if he's going to be healthy enough to be a week 1 starter.
Probably not.
I mean, it's incredible. AFC North next. Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I zig.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags. It's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. The Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
If they lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Walsh, it's Joe Lisi. How we feeling? Feeling good?
Yeah.
What a slate. It was a lot of fun.
We got a game tonight, too.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
All right.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
if I had to guess, at around 3:45,
Yeah.
Joe Lisi's watching football. Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow throws a pick. And he goes, no! Because then you remember, I needed this Cincinnati team to figure it out. And you said, no, he doesn't deserve to catch him. This is your group. I tried to swoop in, pick him up, make him mine, and they had Buffalo.
Dead to rights.
Dead to rights. Dead to rights. 8 minutes to go, double-digit lead. Burrow goes pick 6 and then throws another pick. I still can't really believe what I watched. 39-34, Buffalo gets it done.
It's amazing.
I don't know. Was that game to you about Josh Allen's brilliance? I hate to say it. He's going to get me heat. Not me. Josh Allen was playing come-from-behind football, and then all of a sudden it was like, huh? Wait, what? We're winning? What do you mean? Oh, my gosh. It worked out. Give him credit. I'm not trying to, disparage a man who went for over 320 yards and 4 total touchdowns, but, Cincinnati. 3rd and 15, they're going to get the ball back. Josh Allen scrambles up the gut. I just can't believe what I watched yesterday.
Yeah,
I can't.
Well, they've done it all year at home. I mean, think of the Ravens game with the fumble by Henry. Think about the Tampa Bay game. They're getting slugged in the mouth by Baker and Sean Tucker in that offense, and all of a sudden pull away in 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's the ML playing in Orchard Park. But again, I mean, we were never – I'm kicking myself because when we did the breakdown, the 53.5, there's no way that could get there, right?
We just didn't love it.
We
weren't slamming under.
I know, but it's 73 points. I mean, 73 points.
That's a lot of points.
My best bet yesterday was the over in Minnesota. I'm scraping for points with Jaden Daniels. Get him out!
You think that was bad? My best bet was a bet that I was positive was to bet the under, but the books agreed with me too much, so I bet Mahomes over 1.5.
I know. Yeah.
Did he throw one yet? No? Okay, still. I mean, gosh. I mean, look, it happens.
Here's the thing. I will say this. As bad as that Buffalo defense is,
yeah,
they're a sieve.
Yeah.
this is setting up now with the Ravens. This is setting up for a Josh Allen run. If Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, I'm telling you this right now.
Go ahead.
December 9th today is? 8th?
Yeah. Depends when they watch it. Go ahead.
Depends. 10th, December 10th or 11th?
20th.
Middle of December. If the Buffalo Bills don't seize the opportunity to take the torch and stick the nail in the coffin this year, they're never in the history of their organization going to win a Super Bowl ever or make a Super Bowl ever again. If they do not seize this opportunity with Lamar and Pat Mahomes dead to rights, they don't deserve to ever be elite.
They are the most Super Bowl or bust team right now in football. It has never been more their time.
It's the cream. The cream. All they got to do is put the cherry on top.
But I am not a believer. I am not. I'll be last in the praise Josh Allen race that we watch year in and year out, and that's fine. I'm not saying he's bad. That'd be insane. I'm not even saying he is great. We all know he's great, but I don't think this team is going to win the Super Bowl. I've said I don't think Josh Allen is going to win a Super Bowl. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. All right, well, so far I'm up big.
Could he make a Super Bowl?
Maybe.
This is it. It's this year or bust.
Maybe. But again, Joe, he's going to go in as a 5 seed. They're not winning the division.
No, you're right, Kev. But again, it doesn't matter. All the great ones have had their run. Mahomes won as a wild card. I mean, think about.
He didn't. No, that's the crazy thing. He was just a 3 seed instead of.
Okay, but
we had to go to Buffalo. He had to go to Baltimore. But he wasn't a wild card team.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. He had to go on the road to the AFC Championship and knock off Lamar Jackson, right?
Okay.
We've seen teams, elite teams, win on the road.
Yeah.
If you're Josh Allen with the teams that are ahead of you, Jacksonville, Houston,
right?
Okay, you want to throw? Who else you want to throw in there?
Denver. I understand.
Denver.
But again,
okay.
Can I just say this for Buffalo? People go, oh, I can guarantee. Well, I just think they're not going to win the division. If Buffalo beats New England, right? They go to 10-4 and they put the Pats down to 3 losses, right? The Bills still lost the division tiebreaker,
right?
Because they lost to the Dolphins,
right? I get it.
So they need Buffalo. They need New England to lose to the Jets or the.
Forget the division. I'm not
the Dolphins.
Right. Here's what I'm talking about. In a playoff situation.
Sure.
Okay. Forget. And I know they lost to the Patriots in the regular season. We'll see what they do in their upcoming matchup. I'm throwing that out the window.
Go ahead.
If the Bills make the playoffs as the 5 seed, Josh Allen is significantly higher with playoff experience and needs to run the table over second-year players Drake May, Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, the erratic man, all these quarterbacks that are on the cusp of what they're hoping to be like the next Josh Allen. He needs to run the team. He has to find a way to get there. But if he doesn't do it this year, it's a missed opportunity and they're dead.
But understand this. Josh is in a class of his own in terms of playoff resume, right? With if Mahomes misses active AFC quarterbacks, I guess unless Rodgers will maybe be there, we'll get to that. But here's my thing. He's also not done anything. He's been to 2 conference championship games. He's lost them both. His resume is losing to Pat. That's the resume. That's what he gets propped up for. He loses to Mahomes. So now the thought is, big bad Pat won't be there, so Josh gets to have one. He better, because you know who he's also lost to? Burrow. And what? Burrow and this stupid Bengals team gave a game away. And it happens. But you know what we were going to be talking about instead today?
Joe Burrow.
Burrow going to Buffalo in the snow and walking this guy down again. So guess what? When everyone picks them to win the AFC this year, which they will, I won't. And the dust will settle, and we'll go, yeah, but you know what? They didn't have enough weapons. Or, oh, maybe the worst run defense in football got exposed for being the worst run defense in football. I was told they have an elite pass defense. No, they don't. Everybody runs on them at free will.
Who said that, Sammy?
Everybody. Oh, it's so good. It's
here, but we're in agreement.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what the defense is. The great ones find a way to overcome. The reason why the Bengals lost that game was on Burrow.
I know, which is on him, although they left them no margin for error. But here's the thing, as I'm sure the Josh crowd is right now screaming at us, well, they better be hard on Lamar. We will. That's double the meat nightmare. The AFC North was handed to them on a platter. A platter. And Lamar is falling apart. There's no other way to describe. He was outplayed yesterday by Aaron Rodgers.
It was a bad call in the end zone by Likely.
Oh, okay.
Come on, that was a bad call. Come
Okay.
on. It was a touchdown.
Right. Okay.
I'm just saying
You're down 17-3 at home.
No, I'm not saying
You're
Lamar.
down 17-3 at home. Tomlin spot supreme. I got these things
give
dead
him
to
the
rights.
bookcase. When we're in break, give him the bookcase.
Who?
You said it, Tomlin spot. Nobody else is thinking Tomlin spot. I said it was one of my better picks of the day. I got smashed yesterday. Okay?
People were calling you out.
Yeah, they could call me out.
I don't know. I
go to
didn't
the
call
podium.
you out.
No, it's fine. Here's the thing. The Ravens, though, we talked about it. Their defense stinks all year. They had a 3-game or 4-game run.
Good.
Their passing attack isn't good. Zay Flowers is not an elite wide receiver.
This is the biggest difference between them.
Rashad Bateman, should be playing in the AFL.
No,
they don't
Bateman's
throw him
fine.
the football.
So you had a Bateman bet in.
No, I'm just saying. He's at number 2 that runs routes that they don't throw the football to. I don't understand why he's out there.
They got on this heater, right? Because Tyler Huntley beat Chicago, and then they beat Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, and the Jets. The evidence on the Ravens is they're just not a good football team. Not like Kansas City's got issues or they can't win close. The evidence on Baltimore is they are just not good. And that is more alarming than anything else. And it is why Harbaugh is getting fired. Unless
you think so.
Unless they turn this around, he is toast. We'll talk Pittsburgh and Shador next. Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had recent success, maybe not so young, but not they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real. Yeah. They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so let's take the AFC North as a whole. Pittsburgh is now the division favorite. They go into Baltimore, they get the win. Cincinnati loses to Buffalo. They're all the way at the back. I find the Ravens to be a mess. I think Lamar right now is a mess. I do think Lamar can chalk up a lot of this to injury, but not all of it is what I would say right now.
Okay.
He does not look anywhere near himself, so there's a bit of a pass. But he is out there enough, right? Like, I don't think he's 100%. I don't think he's like 50% kind of when it comes to Lamar. The thing for me, when I look at the AFC North, right, Joe? Were you impressed by Pittsburgh yesterday?
No.
Neither was I. Because to me, and I know that this will, and I appreciate your, even if it was, somewhat satirical credit for saying it was a Tomlin spot, I'm not impressed by Tomlin spots. They're just Tomlin spots. It's, we're probably dead to rights, nobody's going to pick us, and then we'll win the game. Which also means Pittsburgh is just as live to hand back one of these wins when they play the Dolphins next week. So, when we look at the remaining schedules for these teams, we'll try and do this somewhat quickly. But most importantly, next week when Cincinnati plays Baltimore, Joe, in this moment, and it's early, do you have a confidence right now either direction in that game?
Which? The
Cincinnati next week hosts Baltimore.
They played on Thanksgiving night. I mean, Burrow's going to be dialed in. I still think Burrow's upset, especially coming off a 2-interception performance where he gave the game away. And again, it's a primetime matchup with Lamar, right? All eyes on Lamar. And I think Burrow takes that seriously. I think Burrow loves to go up against the elite quarterbacks because he wants to showcase that he's the best, and he does that all the time for the most part. So I think they're going to be dialed in. This team, Cincinnati, proved that last year when basically they were up against the wall and still found a way, and Jamar Chase wants to get his, and they have incentives now and certain yardage markers that they want to reach. T. Higgins with 2 phenomenal catches yesterday for touchdowns. I mean, again, if Cincinnati plays the way they did yesterday and in game 1 against the Baltimore Ravens, they're gonna beat them, I think.
So I bring this up to say I think it is on the board that Cincinnati runs the table. 4 games left, home against Baltimore, then they go to Miami, host Arizona, and host Cleveland. It is set up for them to do just that. Now, it's not easy. It's set up. Here is the problem for Cincinnati. You need Baltimore to then lose to either New England or Green Bay.
Which can happen.
100%. You will also very likely need Baltimore to beat Pittsburgh in Week 18.
That's the problem.
And why that's a problem is that's not all you need. Is you need the Steelers to lose 3 of their final 4. Home against Miami, at Detroit, at Cleveland, home against Baltimore. And I think it's very possible that they lose 2 of the Dolphins, Lions, Browns games and go into Week 18, and it's either Cincinnati or Pittsburgh for the division. And since the Ravens are out, they're not playing anybody.
I'll say this. I think they can lose. Dolphins are obviously on fire right now.
Sure
as much as I hate Mike McDaniel, I'll give him credit. I don't like it. Now stop.
Well, what a turnaround.
Coach of the year.
Please.
Come on. I know. If you were the owner, 10-year contract. Next year's going to be the promised land.
No doubt.
We can't get rid of this guy. Forget that. They're hot.
All right.
We'll give them the better. We'll give them their due. Yeah. Okay. Detroit, no shot. They got no shot. Okay.
Yeah.
Cleveland beat them last year with Jameis. And if Shador plays the way he did yesterday, who, by the way, do I get props?
100% you do.
Okay.
100%
if Cam Moore,
you do.
I mean, I should have taken him for just, 2 touchdowns each. That was the better play. Shador, 364. That defense, I think, can put a beat down on Rodgers. They're not going to run on him. I'll tell you that right now. They're not going to run on him. I know they got lucky yesterday with Tony Pollard with the touchdown run. Not going to happen against Pittsburgh.
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
That is as much credit as you could get, I feel, for losing a bet, was what I saw yesterday in Browns-Titans. Joe Lisi sell me something like a 90-1 shot. It was 250-2 from both Shador and Cam Ward. The tough thing is you got both guys to throw for 2 touchdowns, and Shador throws for 364. Cam Ward, brother, 117.
I know. Like, what are we thinking? Thinking and dunking. Can we take the governor off? Take the governor off. The team's got 2 wins. Can we take the governor off? Put him in the shotgun. Make believe he's back at Wazoo and the U. And can we at least make him chuck against Shador? I thought that was the perfect situation. I always talk about the LSU guys.
First drive touchdown pass. I went, he's got a live one.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Right,
and
as you're watching this game, when you saw and I'm shocked, I'm mad at myself, 33.5, that should have been my bet of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I let the people down. Don't worry, I'll get off the mat. Not my first loss, certainly not my last. Here, I'll take. But I had it. I saw it like I saw it like I was just, one of those psychics at the carnival.
Yeah.
Put the dollar in. What was that?
Can I ask you this though, Joe?
Zolad?
Maybe you need to go back and watch the film. Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
I mean, 364 yards.
Yeah,
3
but he can't
passing
throw.
touchdowns.
But he can't throw.
Rushing touchdown.
I don't think Dylan Gabriel will get that in a year in that offense.
Do you?
Here we go. I should have just. I'm
Is
mad
he
at
the
myself.
guy? No.
I mean, we had chunk plays. They actually realized Jerry Jeudy's a wide receiver yesterday. I mean, how was that? Yeah, Jerry Joe, yeah, he's our number one. Throw him the football. I mean, come on, this Fannin. I mean, take it off from Bowling Green. How
What a
about
guy.
this kid? He's got hands like mitts.
I look at this game. I look at Shedeur. He has, this will sound silly, but I think this is a real thing. Baker had this.
He's got the it. He got that dog in him.
He got
that dog.
He's got that required moxie to be a franchise quarterback. Like and look, it doesn't always look the same, right? It doesn't. I still can't figure out Fernando Mendoza. I'll be honest. I can't figure it out. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know.
Like Pavia, I know what you're gonna say because we bet against him and he's burned us.
Yeah,
but he's got
to
that
be honest,
dog.
Pavia's had moments where I'm like, maybe he will work out. Like because it's so much. But Shedeur, like he's got the celebration going on. Like he's such a star. And what's interesting though is more and more and more the 2-point conversion, right? Stefanski then doesn't have him on the field. This idea that Shedeur and Stefanski might hate each other, I think they might be good for each other. Shedeur likes to air it out. Stefanski likes to air it out. Like, let these guys make magical music. That's how I feel. Pro Football Today. We're back after the break. Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the Best Bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May. The Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success.
Right.
The Jags. It's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. The Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar. And Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number one in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today, a quick story. When we give out our bets, Lisi and I, through and through, if we give it to you, we're going to bet it. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that, okay? Or tell me something, we take big swings. You don't have to put a lot of money on it, right? Sometimes, though, during the show, we like to, Joe and I, we do a little extra clicking. On that Sunday, though, we were a little preoccupied, which was me wanting to strangle him talking about Notre Dame and Miami.
Head-to-head matters.
So,
In the chaos, I didn't put my sell me something in. I didn't realize. I thought I did. And it was J.J. McCarthy and Mahomes to each throw 3 touchdowns. And McCarthy threw one of the earliest touchdowns on the slate. And Lisi looked at me with this smile. Well, you know it's going to come in now. And I see 9 throw 3. And late night, as I'm watching Mahomes struggle, despite it being the best bet, I go, it's not the worst thing that ever happened. It's not the worst thing that ever happened. But, Joe, quickly, I don't bring it up because it was your best bet, the over. It was my sell me something part 2. 31 for Minnesota. You would think you'd be good. What'd you take away from the game?
Jaden Daniels is a bust. No, I'm just kidding. Clip it. I'm kidding. Clip it. I'm joking. No. Look, this team is in a complete rebuild outside of Daniels. I mean, offensively, I think Debo's not the answer. I think Cliff Kingsbury's gotten very conservative with the play calling now that Daniels was back in the offense. Mariota is an upgrade now because he's healthier than Daniels. But again, they have no weapons. They have no pure number one. They can't get the football to Terry McLaurin. They have a backfield that's everybody loves this Krosky Merritt. I think he's significantly overrated. I think he's a third down back at best. I think they should roll the dice with Chris Rodriguez, but their offense is not predicated on a ground and pound. They are predicated on spreading you, a defense, throwing it over the top, and then opening up the rushing attack. They do not have a physical rushing attack a la Green Bay, a la Detroit, a la some of the teams that really smack you in the face and run the football downhill. That's not their style. And again, they're in a crossroads right now because their starting franchise guy has been getting knocked around. Okay, and if you watch the game yesterday, the pick, it was almost out for another extended period of time. And then they realized, hey, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
he might not be available come week 1. Get him out, put Mariota in. But the moves that they had made, Kevin, offensively, you would think would benefit this team, but it was all Jaden Daniels last year. Let's call it what it is. Terry McLaurin is an above-average number 1. I like Terry, but
he was injured through a lot of the year. I think Terry's legit good.
I love
everything. Yeah.
Debo wasn't the answer. He's an aging, out of shape. heavy slot guy that doesn't catch the football anymore, and you can't utilize him on the fly sweeps like he's Xavier Worthy. You just can't. Zach Ertz, he got hurt yesterday, still productive, but he's old. He's old. Noah Brown. Who's Noah Brown? I mean, the guy was a third stringer on Ohio State.
I'm going to ask you a question that is going to be tough to not go long on, but I have other things. But I have to ask you.
Okay.
Jeremiah Love for the Commanders.
Yeah.
Would that be worth it? Like a top 8 pick?
Yes.
Okay. We can get more into that another time. Jackson Smith and Jigba, the new offensive player of the year favorite. Now, I got hooked on 92.5, which was a tough one. But, Joe, I think it's runaway now. With the way the Colts have fallen off, I actually think I'm not trying to be dismissive of the season Taylor's had. I think it's Gibbs versus JSN. Books agree. Yeah. I think that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, and Gibbs, though, that team hasn't really followed through with the expectation, right? They have losses.
That's true. If they don't make the playoffs, he's dead to rights. It's a good point,
if they have 4 or 5.
It's a great point, Joe.
So for me, I would give it to JSN just because, again, you want a standout offensive player that has elevated his team to an elite record.
You know what's really interesting, though, is the Rams play those 2 guys back-to-back. They play Gibbs, and then they play JSN. And I'm just saying, when guys start to get into head-to-heads, narratives get a little bit weird. I know that's not really how here's all I'm saying. Let's say at the end of the year, JSN's had a better season, but Gibbs lights up the Rams, and then the next week JSN struggles, Rams get a season sweep.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the Heisman. It's the same thing. What have you done for me lately? When you have those primetime Heisman or Offensive Player of the Year moments, especially in a playoff situation, you have to step up. You have to perform.
Last one. Yesterday's game, more about being impressed by Tyler Shuck or being worried about the Bucs?
I think I'm more worried about the Bucs. Okay, again, I think Tyler Shuck is adequate. I don't think he's the next Drake May, like I've heard people say.
All of a sudden he's running around like Justin Fields.
Well, he is mobile. Like that. And he had that at Texas Tech. They utilized him a lot in the RPO game. I just think the Bucs look like a dead football team. And again, Mike Evans is coming back next week, hopefully. Let's see where they're at because, again, I still think this is a playoff team healthy, they can make a run.
First time all season, it feels like Tyler Shuck could be the week 1 starter in New Orleans next year, which I think is interesting. We're going to close it up. We're going to continue to break it down. All the same, Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I zig.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the Best Bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags. It's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. The Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. A little bonus 30 minutes for the people here. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi. We're going to preview Monday Night Football, Eagles-Chargers. I'm excited to break that game down. A lot of injury questions. In this moment, let me ask you this quickly. We have a lot of time. Do you feel confident that Herbert is playing in this football game?
Well, no, I don't. I mean, we saw the 1.5. I'd be concerned. I would be. I would still see. And they have multiple books have props up for Herbert. I think I saw 219.5 earlier today.
That's the thing. The numbers are like he's playing and is mostly fine.
Right, until he takes a hit and then Lance comes waltzing out and they realize their playoff chances hinge on Justin Herbert being 100% healthy. Why'd we see the line move all of a sudden from 1.5 to 2.5 if he's 100%? I love the Eagles, but again, a full point, less than 24 hours away from when the injury news came out. To me, look, he might play. I'd be very hesitant on that.
Okay, well, they didn't elevate a quarterback, so it looks like Herbert is playing.
Okay.
It looks like he's going to be in.
So that's it. I'm dialed in. I like the Eagles tonight. I like the over. Road matchups. Again, I think fast track. I think it could be a big Jalen Hurts ground day. I think they have to get back to that. You look at his number, and again, we talk about some of these teams with mobile quarterbacks. Their offensive identity of running the football. Yes, it's Saquon. Yes, now it's Tank Bigsby and A.J. Dillon backing him up. But it has to be Jalen Hurts to open up the RPO game. When they are lethal, when he is running the football, and I don't mean where he's in a drop back shotgun or pistol and it breaks down. I'm talking when they utilize heavy type of formations and utilize an RPO set with Jalen Hurts, that opens up then Saquon on the edge. And again, we'll see if they utilize it. But again, I'm expecting a big rushing attack out of Philadelphia tonight. And I think their defense takes so. Now, that would seem like an under, but I'm expecting chunk plays. Because the rushing attack gets so open and dominates, I think we have big plays in the passing attack, too. I think Goddard breaks out.
We're going to get more into this game, but I think it is good for us to actually go back to yesterday's slate because some of the, information here is pertinent to the Bears and the Eagles losing that game. And the Bears yesterday went to Green Bay and played a weird one, in my opinion, where they're early going. It's like, oh, there they are.
Yeah, the Bears.
Exposed Bears. And then all of a sudden you pick your head up, Lise, and they got the football on their way in. And if they scored a touchdown, I think they go for 2.
You think?
I think they roll the dice and go for 2 there. I could be wrong. Maybe not. I think the smart decision actually would have been go to overtime, because with a tie, would that have been better for them? That would have been better for them, I think, versus Green Bay, because Green Bay wouldn't have been able to get that 9th victory. But again, nevertheless, I don't know, like, there were stretches where Jordan Love was dominant through the air, 28-21. Like, we know the Bears defense isn't good. So I feel like the Bears offense showing the life that they did in that environment was very encouraging.
It was, and I think, again, teams respond, right? So they're down 14-3 at the half. They make halftime adjustments. They come out. They score 11 points, right? Right in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Puts them right back into the ball game. And again, they were in a position, spread-wise, right? They covered 6.5, 7, or depending upon when you got it. Again, I think this team now is starting to buy into Ben Johnson as a whole, right? Ben Johnson as the leader of this team, and they respond. And again, you're not going to win every game. And I know that was a step-up spot for them, but it was back-to-back road games. Okay, let's not forget they went into the Link as a 7-point dog and knocked off potentially one of the best teams in the conference still, in my opinion, in the Eagles, in their house, and really dominated them by 9 points. It's tough. I mean, Green Bay needed that game, and they got it, but it wasn't easy. I mean, if he makes that check down to DJ Moore instead of going, I know coulda, woulda, shoulda.
No,
but he's wide open. But that's where an experienced quarterback understands the route tree. Doesn't get a little flustered with the moment. Just realizes he's got a guy delayed and opening up. And again, when they watch the tape, hopefully he'll respond. But he's still street ball Williams, right?
Here's the thing.
You love that. I know.
I do, but I recognize that decision because it's exactly what he did against Philly. The game-icing touchdown, he threw the same pass. And I was in the stadium, and I even tweeted, I said, I'm not having a great time, but that was cool. That was a great throw. The thing is, that's not how you're supposed to make your bread and butter. Like, Steph can hit it. When Steph Curry hits a shot from half, the next possession, he doesn't come down and shoot it from half. You know what I mean? It's like, well, no, I'd like to get an easier shot. I'd like to, so I think there was a lesson in that learned for Caleb Williams. It was a very, very bad interception. On the Green Bay side of it, though, this is interesting, man. They are now having a early part of the season, greatest team anyone's ever seen. Middle, okay, I don't know. It's something concerning here. And now we're right back to they're the greatest team anybody's ever seen. I look at the Packers as a very real threat to make the Super Bowl, but they are still a combination that I don't fully trust. I can't, and the shorter their numbers get, the less and less and less I like them. That's how I feel. Now, I think the gap between them and the Rams is outrageous. I just think the Rams are way too short, but I think Green Bay is really good. I like being able to bet on Green Bay, in different spots, but I have flirted with their futures, I feel like, for a month now, and there's a reason I haven't pulled the trigger.
I can't buy into them.
You're so out on them, which is very funny because 3 years ago they were your guys. If 2 years ago, maybe.
Because now I will say this. I'll give props. If Christian Watson is 100% healthy and emerges as this guy. Okay, and now Jaden
Reed.
Right. All of Wicks and obviously
Jacobs looks better.
Dobbs. All of a sudden now we have a different story. The problem why I haven't been all in on Green Bay is because, again, I think, like yesterday against Chicago, they didn't. 20 carries, 86 yards for Jacobs. But he gets a little tight, LaFleur. In a playoff environment, he gets tight, and he wants to run the football all the time, and he gets choked out by better teams like the Eagles last year, and they get dominated. They become predictable. If they're going to be Dan Campbell-esque and aggressive like that with Jared Goff, then I would say Green Bay could be the second best team. Again, people think I'm nuts. When the chips are in the middle, I'm still going with the Eagles. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. but they're the team I trust the most. I know they're not playing elite right now, but I still trust them to bounce back with potentially a winner in Jalen Hurts. I would much rather ride with that group than a group that I don't know what I'm getting all the time.
Here's the thing, though, right, is it can sometimes be easy to say who's not going to win, right? Only one team wins the Super Bowl. Only two teams make the Super Bowl. And I find myself, right, Joe, constantly looking around and be like, all right, I don't like him. Don't trust that. At some point, though, right, someone's going to win the NFC. Someone's going to win the AFC.
Well, right now you would have to say it's the Rams and the Eagles. I would put 1 and 2. Whichever one you want, I would. You want to put the Eagles because of the body of work up until this point, and the Rams dominant. That's fine, but give me a better price on the Eagles. I'm still taking the Eagles.
For me right now, most of my interest is, you're going to think I'm nuts, Green Bay and San Francisco. I think the Niners can still get the 1 seed.
Are you okay? Are you still sold on Purdy though? I mean, he hasn't played.
I'm sold on him enough.
Are you? Okay.
Enough. Can I tell you one of the?
Can I see a couple more weeks of him bouncing back to where he was last year?
I tell you this. I think they're the only team in the entire NFC that can win in Philly in the playoffs. I think they're the only one. I think they're the only team tough enough. I think they're the only team talented enough. I don't think there's another team that goes into Philly in January and wins a football game other than San Francisco.
You're gonna think I'm nuts. I would say the Bucks.
I think
I mean, granted, if they get there,
they just feel like they're drawn dead.
I know, but again, 100% healthy. The Baker, Evans, Godwin, McMillan. I mean, come on.
We've talked about
Bucky,
with Tampa Bay. Like, could all of the losses be worth it from a futures perspective?
Yes. I think it can. If he comes back and Mike Evans is 100% healthy, all of a sudden that dynamic changes dramatically.
I'll say this. You've always wanted Tampa to get respect. Tampa being 16-1 and Carolina being 70 to win the NFC is respect for Tampa Bay. Let's get into Monday Night Football after the break on SportsGrid. Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I think.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the Best Bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May. The Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. The Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar. And Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Monday Night Football. You excited?
Very.
Really?
Fast track.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Indoors, West Coast.
2.5 number. Total sitting right now, 41.5. Woo.
Smash
42
job.
out there.
Smash job.
Really?
Yeah.
By Philly.
Yeah.
So you like an Eagles team total?
Yeah, I mean, I would lay the 2.5. I already did. I took the over 41.5.
Interesting.
Took Saquon Sasquatch Barkley.
Yeah.
90 plus.
Uh-huh.
Two touchdowns at any time.
Yeah.
I think it's a smash job.
All right. Let's take this brick by brick, okay?
Brick by brick.
Let's start with this. The Philadelphia Eagles offense is a consistent talking point. The struggles are obvious. The coordinator is clueless. And Nick Sirianni, in his infinite wisdom and actually never dying loyalty, will not make a change, but has now been more involved with the offense this week. What do you expect from Philly's offense here against a Chargers defense that has been pretty good against the pass this season, a little more vulnerable against the run?
Bully ball. I really think it's line it up, and let's see who's more physical. Is it us or is it L.A.? And again, I think that's the weakness when you just think about the Chargers as a whole for me.
Yeah.
Is there a finesse team still? And Amari and Hampton and that rushing attack are good, but going up against this front seven and with the coming off a loss, embarrassed, answering questions, going out to the West Coast. Again, look, no team is perfect. And I understand, think about it. Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit. All these teams have major questions to answer. Same thing with Philly for the most part. But again, I still buy into this group. I still buy into Saquon Barkley, and I buy into Jalen Hurts. I don't think this is, hey, let's line it up and again, throw it 40, 50 times in this game. I think it's, hey, we're gonna bounce back. We're gonna go to the bread and butter. We're gonna get it right. And being abused in a primetime Black Friday game, I think he'll do that. And I mean, their defense is still legit to shut down Herbert. Herbert's good against mediocre teams. He's not great against elite defenses, and that's what we have. I think it's a smash job, but I think over the total tonight.
So I said that I think Philadelphia needs to become a very pass-heavy football team. I think it is the best way to optimize the offense due to the state of the offense. The offensive line is better at pass blocking than run blocking. Saquon Barkley is constantly second-guessing holes, and Jalen Hurts has been the best player on this offense all season long. A.J. Brown is coming on. Devonta Smith is reliable, so that is how you maximize your weapons. It also stops you from second and 10, handing the football off to gain nothing, which is something the Philadelphia Eagles love to do. When I look at the spot, though, Joe, I have to think about what they will do. And I think they will run the ball quite a lot in this football game. Because I think this team is going to live or die by whether or not the run game is just, it works. Oh, Nick Sirianni's coming in to help out. I don't think Sirianni walked in and said, hey, why don't we just start throwing it more? He probably went, what if we run it left? Instead? That's probably the big change that's coming. And you're playing a defense that is much better against the pass than the run, right? The notion of this Chargers defense, play back coverage, nothing deep, keep it in front of us. So that's just going to be Saquon 4 at a time, 5 at a time, 4. That's going to probably be, I think, how it looks here in this game. Saquon last week was over 4 yards per carry, first time since the bye, fourth time this season. So maybe that's a step in the right direction. I think Philly should be aggressive throwing the football. But in L.A., indoors, I know that's crazy to say indoors. Indoors, though, fast track, it feels more like a Saquon game. That's more what I am expecting. So I'll play Barkley yards. I'll play Barkley touchdown. That's what I'm interested in as well.
Now, me too. And I think, and this is going to sound crazy.
Oh, here we go.
No. I think everybody's on Patullo. He got egged with the video. The kids, the fans in Philly hate him.
Yeah.
But they're trying to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Okay? And what's the best way to potentially do that is you preserve your best assets, right? And I'm not suggesting that they didn't want to utilize Saquon Barkley, but I think they limited his touches and what they wanted to do. I think in the second half of the season, 4 games remaining, entering a playoff type of situation, you're going to see them take a more run-heavy approach. And I think that they sort of experimented with different types of looks and philosophy earlier in the season to see if they could pull it off and know what they have and what they don't have potentially. And I think they're going to turn it on. I think they're going to shock some people. I think now till the playoffs, you're going to see this team surely from an offensive perspective bounce back in a big way.
So the Chargers' questions in this game are, they're massive because the quarterback just had surgery a couple of days ago. Now, non-throwing hand. So the idea is he's going to go and I guess be fine.
He runs too.
I guess.
He runs too.
That's why Harbaugh loves him. Philly, though, especially after last week, on season, you're better off running the football than throwing the football. I can't get a gauge on the return of Amari and Hampton coming the week after Kamani Vidal had the game of his life. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Do you? Do you have any Chargers tickets or bets right now you're lined up on?
I do, but they're tempered down. Like I have Ladd McConkey, 60-plus receiving. I have Johnston, 50-plus.
Yeah.
Not because I'm worried, and I sprinkled them in on other parlays, but I'm worried that Herbert plays a quarter, gets hit, and now it's Trey Lance.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, now we have a situation potentially in a blowout situation where you're not going to get anything on the Chargers side. It's going to be one-sided. Then what? Then you're dead to rights in that aspect. So I sort of took a more tempered look on L.A. because I'd hate to be watching the game and Herbert gets cracked and all of a sudden there go all the props with Trey Lance. And I know he looked great in the preseason. I get that.
No one cares about
that. But I'm just saying, my point is he looked much better in the preseason than he did last year with Dallas where he threw 5 picks. But that's my point. I'm just saying you're not going to get if Lance comes in, it's going to be dead. We're going to be dead. Throw out everything.
I wish Trey Lance was playing in this game. I think it'd be more fun. I think it would be. I think we'd have some good numbers on our hands.
Just let's get Saquon Barkley. Could we get Saquon tonight and I'll be happy?
All right, after the break, Lisi's going to tell us what he's actually keying. We're going to dive a little deeper on SportsGrid.
Just can't quit Josh Allen. He's at a 16% chance. And then the Baltimore Ravens. Ooh, don't count Lamar out. The Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones and Shane Steichen. And then there's those Kansas City Chiefs. But I got to tell you, Joe, you see how we're going lower and lower on this list right here? I'm telling you, a nice little wild card down there. You plunk $100 back and get paid $1,429 back on Houston Texans.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
You've got an 18-1-6 hockey team. You've got a 10-2 football team. So the best record in hockey, the best record in football, and top 5 in the NBA with Jokic and the gang, and the Nuggets at 14-6. And I'm saying to myself, what other town comes close to that?
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You then had a sensational game with the Bears and the Eagles. Who knew how great the Bears were in terms of blowing out the Eagles and maybe having the NFC race go topsy-turvy. And then you also had the 2 NBA games. So it was a big win, I thought, for Amazon for their first ever really big Black Friday day. I think it's something you're going to see them doing now forever on that Black Friday.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
Whoa! Pro football today. Last little segment here before we send you off into potentially, depends when you're watching, maybe in-game live.
No.
We don't know.
Nice.
Maybe more of this. I don't know.
Could be.
Could be. Eagles-Chargers, big game.
Big ball game.
Big game. I want to get your quick thoughts on something, if I may. A little off script.
Go ahead.
College football playoff is set. Have you circled the game you love yet for the college football playoff?
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
What game would that be, or you don't want to tell me just yet?
No, I mean, all right.
Hold on.
Hang on.
Here we go.
I think I know why you're doing this.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Sounds like I'm about to find out, though.
You want me to tell you?
Sounds like I asked a good question. Go ahead.
You asked a great question.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think Oklahoma smashed.
Knew that was coming. Yep.
Smashed.
So you don't think Bama deserves to be in?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So you think Notre Dame should? You think Notre Dame got jobbed?
Wait a second. Hang on.
Hold on. We got to preview this game.
Don't start. You're going to start. You get me all hot. I never said Notre Dame wasn't deserving. I just said Notre Dame wasn't deserving over Miami because of the head-to-head.
Right.
That's all I'll say. 54-65 with a combined 10 wins. That's a 453 winning percentage. Don't tell me they beat up on elite football teams. Don't start.
Well, neither did Miami.
All right, Oklahoma did, though. Come on.
Missouri?
I know. Tennessee? Alabama?
Tennessee was terrible.
Michigan? Yeah,
Michigan,
I know, terrible. Yeah, you see you doing this. Go ahead.
Alabama, they got outgained.
I'm not.
They did.
What does outgained mean? What does outgained mean?
You don't know what that means?
Let me ask you something.
I'll tell you this. I'll give you a little insight. No, I'll give you a little insight. I'm going to give you a little insight. I'll give you a little insight. There's what's happening? We're under attack. How's this?
You okay?
Better?
Yeah, it's better.
All right, let's talk the NFL because now we're going to get in trouble. All right, and I'll explain it. I'll just say this. All right, I was following along with a college football analyst who was telling people he doesn't really usually watch college football games, but he watched all of Alabama, Oklahoma, and then tweeted out, "Man, did Oklahoma deserve that one?" And then it said Oklahoma had the lowest post-game win expectancy of any team that weekend.
So what? Look, I just want to say this. We're acting like defense doesn't matter. Where are all the gurus and analysts when Penn State and Drew Aller couldn't complete a pass to a wide receiver? Where was everybody when we were raving about Marcus Freeman's defense and Riley Leonard that couldn't hit the side of a barn in a playoff game? Don't start. We weren't talking about defenses then.
Notre Dame's offense was also awesome.
Don't get me started. You get me hot. I can't go to the gym tonight.
You'll be fine. We got some mac and cheese coming to the table here. So Eagles Chargers. Let's really hammer this down, okay? Okay.
God, I'm listening.
It's an Eagles game.
Yeah.
So what does that mean you're betting?
125 Sasquatch.
Come on.
I am. I might. You get me hot now, and this is where I become impulsive.
You ever watched Austin Powers?
All the time.
Okay. All the time.
I love Austin Powers. What do you think the Dr. Evil of the NFL?
You know the Will Ferrell character, how they had to ask him 3 times and he can't tell a lie? So I already asked you once, so now we're going to go again.
3 times.
What's your best bet on this game tonight?
2 times, 3 times. I like the Eagles.
Okay. That's 2 answers. That's 2 different answers. I'm going to ask you one more time.
3 times.
Your favorite bet for Eagles Chargers tonight? What are you
Barkley, anytime touchdown plus 110. 3 times.
What about the over?
I'm on the over.
What about Jalen Hurts rushing?
I'm on that too.
What about Goddard in the receiving?
40 plus. I have it in a parlay. Here's my parlay. You want to know the parlays? Saquon for 90, anytime touchdown, the over.
Okay.
Saquon for 90, 2 touchdowns in the over.
Okay.
Goddard for 40.
Yep.
Saquon for 50. I tempered it down. Hurts for 40 and the over.
Okay.
I mean,
so your best bets tonight then are Saquon rushing and the over.
Yeah.
Really? You don't really – the Eagles' money line, not too much.
Now, we're here. We'll be watching the game. If I see something different or that catches my eye,
if you
shoot first and ask questions later, I guess I'll put it in. I'll put it in quick.
Maybe you – maybe someone at the party has a pick.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's true. I'll survey. Hey, this great game tonight. Who do you like?
I'll tell you this, folks.
What's your best bet?
We have a holiday party this evening. We're really excited.
What's your best bet tonight?
Someone is going to say, he's going to overhear, I don't know, Herbert's hand, it's probably going to be low scoring. At least he's going to fall over and knock over the chicken tent. He's going to run so quick to the book. It is going to be an absolute treat. My best bet in this game is going to be Saquon over 69.5 rushing yards. I do think he finds the end zone tonight. You do have two of the very few teams who've actually given up more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns this year. So I think looking for groundwork makes a lot of sense in this game. For Joe Lisi, I'm Kevin Walsh. We will see you next time right here on SportsGrid.